Speakers and Mark Nowman.
Just outside the House chamber inside the U.S. Capitol is a really, really nice hallway called the Speaker's Lobby. It's lined with portraits of every Speaker of the House in U.S. history. Although the portraits do not quite go up until the present day. Generally, you don't get your official portrait done until a few years after you're gone. So there's no portrait of John Boehner, for example, who just left last week. And there's no portrait yet of Nancy Pelosi, but there will be someday. In fact, the most recent portrait in the Speaker's Lobby is the guy who went before Nancy Pelosi. It's Dennis Hastert. At least his was the last portrait in the Speaker's Lobby until today. Because today was day one of the new Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, and one of the very first things that Paul Ryan did with his new power as Speaker was he took down that picture of Denny Hastert, which they were maybe even a little late getting to, since Denny Hastert pled guilty last week to federal charges in Illinois and is just now awaiting sentencing to find out how much time he's going to be serving in prison. So yeah, taking down the Denny Hastert portrait is how Paul Ryan had to start his first week as Speaker of the House. A little redecorating, sprucing up the place, taking down the portraits of recently convicted felons. But this morning, several members of Congress and a whole bunch of 9/11 first responders had a pretty compelling recommendation for what Paul Ryan's first piece of legislative business ought to be now that he's Speaker.
Late last week, the Congress elected a new Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan. And in his speech, Paul Ryan said, Congress is broken,